I did some astrology, and I did some of my word journeying, and now I'm just going to do some freestyle. We can talk about astrology, yes. I love to kind of be a foreseer, or I guess like an oracle, or there's a lot you can do with astrology, but if you really knew what was going on with the English alphabet and the literature, just the words themselves, it's better medicine than music, and I don't mean it in such a way as like, well, now then we'll tell it's a nice story. No, it's there's a medicine inside of it, and better than astrology, it tells the future, and um, it brings your mind into the very future, which is always now. See, this was a trip. And the past, too. It's telling us how that we can very well be stuck in the past, also, for sure. We see something very strange going on. Nobody questions what they're looking at around them in their world. The word world has the word word in it. But the real word in the word, here I am going on into it. I think I've talked about this before, but it's it's the smaller word or, and that means alternative. Alternative. But see, yeah, that's the alternative in case you weren't there, right? So then somebody's going to tell you or something like that, right? It's the alternative. See, alternative is kind of like antichrist. Yeah, the two words even, alter, anti. Alter means, well, it's just been changed away from. Um, no, it's another source, right? Here's my little girl. Oh, she's so good, so wonderful. She's so special. She's so smart, you know. And, I just love her so much. She's doing this thing where she's being really gentle with her playing. Oh, she's so sweet. She has so much cat going on, ready to roll. And well, she's so special. I've never really known a cat like this. I've said it before, but I guess I just haven't known all cats, right? And so you get to know one cat to the next cat. And this one in particular is extremely sensitive. I didn't, I'm not responsible for how sensitive it is. It's very sensitive, like it, I guess it's just learning things, and I'm more sensitive to the fact that of the way that it's learning, that in fact, they're just like humans, right? Or any other animal that's learning everything for the first time, right? And so they're just having to go through the listening to everything for the first time. And what I like though really is that, okay, so we go outside, and I'm making sure that I'm always there, right? Especially, yeah, with my chickens, that's just the way you would do it if you let them out and let them roam around, and you can be with them and be out there, and it's very healing moments, really. Otherwise you have, bobcats or a darn coyote trying to attack them, and it's my fault for leaving them, and I won't do that. I'm, yeah, it's quiet down here. So, but my point is, so she, though, see, she already showed me a few times that she found a hiding place. It's very I think it's safe for her. I think she knows about that. She really naturally is just hooked up that way. So anyway, thanks for listening to this freestyle. I mean, who cares about your cat and how to be an animal? Is there anything that you've gone outside of, Shauna, rather than being primitive? No. And primitive is not what you think it is. If you are dealing with your true intelligence as a human being, man, what's primitive? Like, we don't even really know. I mean, go back, how long ago where I just think it's a lie. What they talk about is, well, eventually we just see that there was an ape there in a cave. No, what are the pyramids doing? Let's skip over thousands of years ago. Where are you calling that primitive? We just don't know. It's the hard wiring that we are and that we have really. But see the animal side of us, and yes, an animal and their intelligence is not primitive. It's remarkable. And anyway, everything's changing, though. See, more than ever. I don't know if you noticed, but we need to bond with it more. We need to be present with it more. The entire Earth, right? So here we are with the Taurus Uranus going backwards, and it's kind of refreshing us to some qualities of the Earth that we need to drill down and understand that it's about our microcosms. It's about tribal reorientating ourselves to what makes us rich is that, each other. We have each other. And what we bring, not just like say what we do with our hands and material wealth, and yes, of course that, but just the energy exchange. We have to have mediums that brings up a skill called love. And those mediums, there's higher learning tools. But it's just about anything and everything here that you can display with a kind of intelligence, which is love. It's a skill, the skill of skills, that you just know the difference. We know the difference. You can't fake a vibe, right? And so it takes practice to hold the upper spectrum kind of experience where you know why people liked it or what the contagion was with your performance, whatever it was. Now, am I making sense or am I just rambling on or what? Thanks for listening to this. Just take life as a performance. Life is the stage, is a stage. If you're lucky, you're able to experience it in that way. And I say it's a video game. And see, how do you like this video? Here. See, I checked out, I realized, I noticed on the video game that we have a pre-installed language here. We're using typewriters. And what else? There's a lot that I've noticed. It's been 12 years since I've been on the video game. And I'm surprised that nobody found what I have found except for, I guess, just give it time. It's supposed to happen. God knows what he is doing. I'm a very impatient person. I'm on Aries time. Aries is like, no, why don't you see it like right away? Catch the ball, throw it. Let's play. No. People are busy not playing. It's terrible. So we have to wait for people to loosen up and spontaneously just understand something deeper than that word. Spontaneously is very important, see, because going deeper than the mind, you can become more spontaneous. But the mind will have every reason to not do anything. Just protect whatever its discipline is. It could be anything really. When it decides, it could make spontaneity something. So you cannot really fake a vibe though. Naturally, a person's mind doesn't like spontaneously. It's allergic to. That's just not that. It's nature. See, the only thing spontaneously happening is now. And see, this is why games, literal athletic games where there's a ball and rules that you have to follow, like tennis, you can't really space out and think, well, the ball is not coming, it's going to come like 5 minutes from now, right? You have to be really present to the point of absolute mindlessness. Now we're talking, babe. What's happening? Now. See, they're the coolest people, really, really good athletes are the coolest people because they will take the time with you, but they'll keep playing. as far as their playing is concerned, it's very automatic. The only way that you can know that it's actually inherent in you, it's a technology that you need to wake up. It's like meditation playing is. Uh, so with like driving is a good example for a lot of people. No, maybe not Leos. I don't know. Okay, but of the rest of us who aren't Leos prominent or Libra, I don't know. You know what? I'm an Aries, and I say drive that fucking car. So I was gonna say, the way we drive, and it's just second nature. I don't know about you, but I trip out on reflexes, the spontaneous ability to save your ass and know that, there wasn't any other way that I could have went when I was going 75 miles around the corner and the tractor trailer truck was like stalled in the middle of the road, but it had pulled up enough, but it wasn't out of the way, and I had to jump the medium and go onto their driveway and then really hit it in a certain way, like spontaneous. That was the only thing to do. Otherwise, everybody involved would have been clobbered. I literally jumped like the Dukes of Hazzard over their road and got back on it. Luckily, I was in a good heavy car, and me, Aries rising. Whew, I just like, whew, yeah, didn't even slow down or stop. Just keep going. Yep, feels good. Yep, let's go. Yeah. Passenger was like, I think we're gonna make it to Colorado just fine. Just a little test there in the beginning. Thanks for listening to this, guys. I am somebody who wants to share the energy, and I've been doing this. Even though I've been getting enshrouded in Neptune and smacked around my emotional state, smacked around at one point by Uranus. When was that happening, Shauna? Uranus was doing something to you? When? Well, when it was in Taurus, it's in Taurus now, and it was exactly square my moon in Aquarius. It's a hard moon to have. It's not very stable compared to the Taurus moon. I think allergic on Taurus would have a problem after a while with the Aquarius, especially the Aquarius moon, because the Aquarius moon is not that stable emotionally. Emotionally, we're not. We get kind of like Spock. We can get darn cold and start analyzing every bit of the emotion, and that's like making people uncomfortable. It's either that or we're just kind of we like all of the fixed moon signs. I'm not going to be stuck with it, babe. This is an Aquarius moon. We can blow up and just fly out of off the handle. That's the fixed signs. So the fixed signs are these people that kind of they can keep their cool until pretty soon they just get steam coming out their ears. I'm sorry, they get pissed. Watch out, pissing off a Scorpio. Literally, their eyes turn into laser beams. They might be permanently like that. You wonder what is up with these people. They're just very intense, and you can really appreciate them. We don't want shallow ass people. And see, the deeper you get, the more that you start penetrating into prime causes, I guess, of things and stuff. Like an investigator or something. You're just an intense person, man. You notice like yeah, it rules death and everything like this, really intense. So you notice like a coroner. I don't know why I'm talking about this. People that work at the coroner's office or just for deathly things, they have a kind of deathly vibe to them. It's very like special. It's the special people in our lives. And, wow. I know. Anyway, uh, I just said that because I'm aware of how many stories are out there and how many people have their version of heroism, and really, I have nothing on them. Really, I I hope that I can be of some use someday. You know, and there's where I really appreciate. See, I say that I'm a live entertainer. I'm an artist of sorts, and I'm in the middle of a very intense time, right? Let alone it being 50. Everybody has their Chiron return when they turn 50. But see, with me, my Chiron is in the first house, and I need to look at exactly what degree that is. Pardon me while I just sit here and do this. How are you today? Did you get through this period. Really, we're looking at where we have to get through Christmas, I guess, and uh, just it, pardon me, it's hard on the money. This is not the right book. Oh yeah, baby, I think that's the third time I've ever sneezed. Probably the second, really. I'm trying to get to my birthday here so I can see where Chiron is. See, here's the book that I looked at to read everybody's life story, including just the entire span of the century right there. See, can you come up with an amazing something to say after looking at this? Comment section down below. People trip out. I'm like, you can read that? What do you... No, I just make stuff up completely. Actually, I can do predictive. See, people don't know that I can do predictive astrology pretty damn good. See, I was trying to tell you about what I'm looking at through the English alphabet and the lettering. You might notice it a little bit. It's like, how is this woman predicting the future? All right, there, what you go like this is like. See, it's because, babes, you have no idea. If you knew, we would have our own sanctuary. By the way, if more and more people knew how absolutely boring it is here, because it is pure programming, and you can predict it. Talk about predicting, right? Uh, I guess we're here to just kind of pretend like to enjoy not knowing and getting so far up in the left field that there's a literal grid around the planet where it's like, no, nobody gets in or out because it's kind of poisonous. It's like, what are you going to do with the universe out there? No, you should at least, this was once called a school where you graduate, into what? Well, maybe you become a creator of worlds somewhere else. Maybe you can influence, I don't know. Never mind, Shauna. She is just telling something. And there's my little old date of birth. Here I am doing my progressions. Here I got my little marks where my birthday is there. Sorry about that. You see that? I'm doing progressions. And I notice something going on with see right here I said bring it on. When I graduated into being a Scorpio, I marked these days down here. It's well into my 35 year, and that's where it's looking like I would like do something that's equivalent to winning the lotto, which is the Jupiter trine Venus. But see, mine would be in water, and we're having one in the sky that's very beneficial. It just means that just a stroke of luck that like yeah, it's just like you just fortunate, it's like and then how does it come to you? No hard work at all. The Trine people might have a problem with ah they everything comes so easy to them. They don't know the hard work that some people have to do to just get to where they get or be the way they are with whatever it is that it's trining them, usually with the Jupiter. Well, for me, it's a spiritual thing, very spiritual. I'd like to look at it more, now that I'm progressed into 50 years old. I haven't done my progressions, and apparently I'm way over, see, there's 20. I can do it. Okay, I went all the way into over here, and we stopped at over here. I will only get more and more beautiful. That's what it says here by the age 38. See, that's what I had decided. And something about me is like that. You wouldn't believe. You think I'm good looking now? Catch me in 10 years. And see, it's not the same as 20 years ago. So you think you look better then, but no, actually, I wasn't in my light body. And there's a lot about my energy that is way more attractive, I think. And talk about the stability thing, which is I'm having a hard time. I think all of us are having a hard time feeling stable on the planet. Are we supposed to? What does stable mean, Taurus? It means to corral yourselves in. Okay. Oh, I was looking for to see my Chiron. Pardon me. Let me look at my Chiron here. Pardon me. It's good that I kind of just get to my studies here. Okay, September Chiron is. Oh, it's at 29 degrees. What, 23? Sorry about that. 23. 23. Can you hear me? It's still in Aries in October. It's at the late degrees. So I think I already knew that. Yeah, it's 23. It kind of quincunxes my Venus, which must be weird. all I can do is watch how, you see, Aries, it's really tough for us. Me. You have a leadership quality. You are a natural, you are a leader. You're looked up to after a while. People depend on your energy after a while. They say, you know what, I don't know what to do, but except for let's call Superman, and it's usually the Aries people. And it's like, where are you? Especially if they've got a load of our energy and we've worked with you or with them, talking about the fire people, the Aries, and you really brought your energy there. See, just because you can, you do. When if you pull it away and you're not there, they notice it. They're like, ah, yeah. And you can just bring it on, and see that's just the quality of the human being. I associate the Aries sign and particularly the Aquarius sign. They all both start with A there as being humanity itself. Aquarius rules the electric body, and Aries rules and points out the physical body. See, by the time we're taking the journey and get into Aquarius, it's one sign away from a rebirth into Aries. See, from Aquarius, Pisces, and then the new year happens in the end of March. If anybody's at all feeling it, the feeling, you'll notice if you're connected with the Earth and the cosmos, you're going to know that the new year, the new start, is in March. It's unquestionable. Yeah, I was trying to explain on my Facebook page, and I guess I'll explain it here. Maybe it was here. The cardinal signs early. It might be difficult for you around about Christmas, like especially right when that solstice happens, and we have the sun in Capricorn now. It's not easy for us. We would rather just stick our heads in a hole like an ostrich, rather than be like social the way everybody forces upon us. And unfortunately, some people just have the worst time around that year. And I vouch for those people. I say, no, you must have a lot of Libra early degree. Around 10 degrees is when everybody's hung over by New Year's. The Capricorn sun is at like 10 degrees, I think. It's just kind of a really awkward time for us, and we would rather get a move on. It's depressing. Even though you're trying to celebrate and all this stuff for some reason, right? It's that way. It can be, it is, really. And now, talking with this, thanks for listening, with the Jupiter Saturn that we're coming on to that's a square. I was trying to explain that, but see, it's easy to hear this kind of thing. You probably hear you say, yeah, I know, it is the pits. That's Saturn and Jupiter. They're kind of it's a hard lesson about expansion. Like it's more like it's looking like a contraction now. A lot of people might have experienced already a scaling down that was not at all their choice, right? They're like, and they feel like they're losing. See, that's the part where Jupiter squares Saturn coming up here. And I say, release yourselves. It's time to release yourselves from those traditional values that they're getting in the way of what is to come as your liberation, being liberated into a whole new life. I mean, what are we going to do? Pack holidays on top of holidays? They were just explaining. I put a video up, and I'll put it at the end of this one. Maybe you're paying attention, but they were explaining like what all these words really mean. Clause, like there's something in your brain called I just look it up. Sorry, but I put the. It's fascinating to look at. It's like, oh wow, because this is the experience I'm having, and I have. If I don't see the Kundalini, I'm pretty sure that the Kundalini will rise probably once a month, but you get initiated, you're like, you have to go through this process, and part of it is that this thing that goes on with your body, that the Kundalini, and it's all the Christ oil, it's in your body, babe. It's all this stuff that they're doing a fairy tale, and then now whatever the shit with the going down the chimney. See, your chimney is supposed to be, well, your brain in the back of it. You look it up, and it goes down your spine and it comes up again. And I've experienced something like this, babes. See, this is the thing. It's hard to believe if you don't know this. That by the time you got to have that Kundalini will rise It's intense. You might have an accidental experience of it actually just going, and then you're really connecting with your light body. It's like, well, I don't know why I quit eating meat and I started doing yoga and all this stuff. And it's because, yeah, I don't know. You just went this way that your body was saying, would you please stop doing this and start doing that and stop doing this, start doing that. See, and then see, because otherwise, that energy, now, particularly if it can't go back up your spine, I'm already kind of experiencing it, and yoga is the only answer. You're going to experience back pain and problems, and all it is that you need to you need to breathe deeply and stretch, do yoga. There's a yoga poses that it's no joke. You have to do that. It's a calling. You see, this is the strange thing to see too, is that if you do basic yoga, nothing spectacular, you don't have to be a contortionist or anything, but it's because it's all in the breathing, but really you should try, you need to follow the stretches as best as you can. It's about the breathing. I promise you, within 40 days, you will have a mystical experience. And see, now getting back to my progressions here. Pardon me while I burp there. And, you can do progressions. See, I wish I can get people to get interested in doing astrology with me. Say, I can be their personal astrologer. See, I've done it before for free, but I don't want to do it for free anymore. I just want to get paid for it. See, I've done it before to where people have come back. See, a lot of people want to know when their lover is going to come back, like when's the best time. It's like, well, yeah, I can tell you when the best time to have kids or when it's just going to happen. Really, a lot of times they'll try and try and try until a certain thing. It's like, no, just wait until now. I mean, wait until then. I mean, you see, an astrologer can see it. They can also see everything. They can see pretty much everything, babe. How do you know? See, this is what I'm proud to say is that I was born this way. See, you're born, you can see it through astrology. You're born to do a certain thing here. And you're born to the capacity of a certain kind of character. And some of it sticks way out, like the Mercury conjunct Uranus. I have it in Libra. It's ideal. See, it trines Aquarius over there. Yeah, the air sign. See, it's about compatibility of people and getting along with people. And astrology is such a handy dandy tool. And Mercury conjunct Uranus is the aspect of the astrologer. People are born to do this. See, my astrologer who taught me astrology, he said, oh, look at there, you have the aspect of the astrologer right there, Mercury conjunct Uranus. He says, you're going to be a better astrologer than I am. All you have to do is just learn this stuff. See? And it turns out that another person who was telling me about the English alphabet, and I was fascinated because it's like, I already knew this, but he's like, he was talking about it. And I'm like, whoa, that's a trip. So that influence, something went on there where I did have an astral travel experience, and I went way over, I got some downloads about the fact of the interfacing system sent from benevolent beings who live in outer space called the English alphabet, and it's basic jargon, the stuff that we are just bantering away, and we kind of don't hear ourselves or even know what, from where or why it's coming or what it is. Really, we don't listen to ourselves half the time. I mean, really, if you really knew. And this is where I'm tripping out. See, you're probably seeing me when I'm talking that I kind of reverse things and I get things kind of mixed up. And that's okay. I realize what is happening. I am actually making a breakthrough that I think the average people could not at all understand that I have made that breakthrough. That breakthrough needs to be made. Otherwise, you are stuck not seeing a full, whole round spectrum. Yeah. Yeah, how that, that's how you make the breakthrough. Some people are just stopping at the when they have to make a breakthrough. That's all I can say. So, hey, thanks for listening to this. I hope it helped somebody. See, we're getting back to where how that Mars, let alone Mercury, is going to be aspecting Neptune, and it's going to get very dreamy. We haven't been able to get out of the dreamy field with Neptune being in Pisces. It's like forcing people into looking at the very true nature of reality, which is very much called a dream, right? Yeah, and really the literal way that it's rendering out. Water, water is a big part of all, right? All of the universe. Hydrogen, that element that is down there, it's a symbol, by the way, the H. That's a symbol that points at the most common element, pardon me, in outer space. And it's coupled, you can have it coupled with oxygen here. It's very flammable, though, see? Isn't that weird? And so is oxygen. But when you do it, it's like H2O, whatever the 2 means. Now it's like hydrogen, 2 parts oxygen. Is how I understand how to say it. But those 2 things, we drink it. It's highly flammable. So that, right, it's a fuel for psychic energy. All possible messages ever heard is like transmitted in the water. Uh, yeah, that's what psychics are when they hold something and they want to like know who held it or where it's been or who was there or whatever. That's what they're entering into is the watery field. And there's where, the Pisces is known to be very psychic, you know. I have Jupiter in Pisces going backwards, so it's like a trip that I know that is some very, very prominent kind of, it's like, yeah, I know just the psychic world. It's so strange because some things you'll be like, see, I have a natural knack of obeying that I see that unseen thing. And I work with those vibrational frequencies. I don't deny things, see. And there's where it's far more interacting, say, with people, like on a spiritual level, I guess, right? And well, the degree. Thanks for listening, boy. 31 minutes. The degree that I have with the Jupiter is 10 degrees in the Sabian symbols. One of the first expressions says spiritual refreshment or spiritually refreshing. Or you see, I provide spiritual refreshments in a number of ways. See, my music isn't the usual when I play it live. Music is music is music, and a lot of times, see, I would rather get a venue going to where we're doing intricate little shows and stuff. But anyway, because the jam gets boring right after a while, and boy, it's important to practice and just get your shit together and do something. I don't know, I'm just a perfectionist, right? And so that's something that the Aries does have that's unbeknownst to a lot of people. They just think that they're rough and tumble, but really no. The energy of the Aries, it rules the head, so we really analyze things. But it's a split second. I was trying to tell you in the beginning. It's like, is the ball coming? Where is it coming? Should I dive? Yes, this is a dive. Slide, catch, yeah, turn around. And this is happening in slow motion, these people, because they are so aware. It's happening like a flash for some kids, they're watching it, So anyway, thanks for listening. Going to 3333, I'm going to turn this off and hope that you're having a jolly good old time, that you have love in your life, and you're getting back to just look for your child self and seek joy.